Madam President, the amendment that I'm offering today is a bill that has bipartisan support, and I want to thank those authors who have signed on to this piece of legislation with me that provides that post-traumatic stress disorder is a presumptive illness for public safety officials. It is under a section of law that already exists, including heart attacks and cancer and some other ailments. We are asking that we finally, once and for all, recognize that post-traumatic stress disorder is a work-related injury for cops, firefighters, paramedics, and the like. I'd like to give you a little background on the work that we've attempted to do with the Workers' Compensation Advisory Council. We did attempt to work through the process and move this through that group, but unfortunately we met a lot of resistance from the State Chamber of Commerce. We had meetings on April 25th, which we thought we were told we were going to have a vote on this, and without telling us, the meeting time was changed to March 22nd, and then PTSD presumption was removed altogether. We continue to fight for this, as you maybe have seen recently, news reports on Fox 9 highlighting individuals that have done the work for us that have had to leave service due to post-traumatic stress disorder. This is an important issue. You'll see handouts on your desk from me that cite some of the statistics related to suicide rates amongst firefighters and public safety officials. What I want to make clear is that this is not an easy diagnosis to obtain, Madam President. They have to exhaust their benefits after getting a diagnosis, and during a mental crisis, try to fight for help. At our initial discussions, the cities and counties actually said it's really not going to alter their costs by all that much. So the cost here is not prohibitive, and it certainly isn't to the state. Madam President, I stand to offer this today. On May 1st, 7 years ago today, Sergeant Joe Bergeron was murdered on the east side of St. Paul on a manhunt for an individual that committed a carjacking. As you can think about the things that society you don't have to deal with on a daily basis, we do. Over the weekend, we took a little road trip with a few fellow senators of mine, Senator Isaacson, Senator Wicklund, Senator Kent, and some staff, and we went through an intersection, and I had a flashback. I was a brand new paramedic in Wilmer. It was the first bad crash that I'd ever been to. Senator Lang, that was Highway 23, County Road 5. I think you know the intersection well. And a family had several small children in the vehicle. One of them was a 2-year-old on Grandma's lap. And they were moving. And when I arrived at the crash, there was a fully loaded semi of steel, nearly 80,000 pounds, parked on the side of the road with the hood tilted forward. When I crossed the intersection to the south, there was the carnage. And I can still remember the great trooper, who was a good friend of mine from New London, Spicer area. It was the first time I ever met her. And she was doing CPR on a 2-year-old. That 2-year-old's injuries were beyond sustainability of life. And there were several other victims that were critically injured, and I had to tell her to stop. I will never never forget that small child or the many other incidents related to sexual assault, homicides, you name it. I will not forget. And I know my brothers and sisters, like Senator Simonson and others in here, will never forget. So I ask for your support to stand up for law enforcement, firefighters, and public safety officials, that this is within this section of law, and it is not cost prohibitive. So thank you for your support.